Have you ever wondered how Japan, an island nation in the East, became the cultural and technological powerhouse it is today? Our story begins in the Jomon period, stretching from 14,000 BC to 300 BC, a time when Japan was a land of hunter-gatherers. The Jomon period is best known for its pottery, a craft that bloomed in the hands of these ancient people. The pottery of the Jomon period, characterized by intricate chord markings and vivid designs, tells us a story of a society that valued artistry and creativity. As we move forward to the Yayoi period, from 300 BC to 250 AD, we see a significant shift in Japanese culture. The introduction of rice cultivation from the Asian mainland brought about a transformative change in the Japanese way of life. This new agricultural practice led to the development of permanent settlements and a more structured society. The Yayoi period also ushered in the use of bronze and iron, which further enriched the culture and lifestyle of the people. The Yayoi period is a testament to Japan's ability to adapt and evolve, a characteristic that would become a defining trait of this island nation. Transitioning into the Kofun and Asuka periods from the 3rd century to the 7th century, we see an even more remarkable evolution. The introduction of Buddhism from Korea during the Asuka period had a profound impact on Japanese culture and philosophy. The teachings of Buddha, with their emphasis on compassion and enlightenment, found a receptive audience in Japan and became deeply ingrained in the national psyche. During these periods, we also see the formation of a centralized government, a critical step towards the unified nation that Japan would eventually become. The influence of the Chinese Tang dynasty led to the establishment of a strong central authority, laying the foundation for a structured society and a nation that would soon make its mark on the world stage. And thus, Japan began its journey into becoming a unified nation, steeped in a culture that bridged both indigenous and continental influences. The dawn of Japan is a tale of adaptation, evolution, and the birth of a unique, enduring culture. And this is just the beginning of our journey into the fascinating history of this remarkable nation. As Japan moved into what we now call the classical and medieval periods, its culture and power dynamics underwent significant transformations. The Heian period, spanning from 794 to 1185, was a time of cultural efflorescence. This era was characterized by the flowering of the arts and literature. The tale of Genji, often hailed as the world's first novel, was penned during this time, encapsulating the intricate court life and politics. Heian also saw the rise of samurai clans, the warrior class that would come to play a pivotal role in shaping Japan's future. As we transition into the Kamakura period, spanning from 1185 to 1333, the first military government in Japan's history was established. The Minamoto clan rose to power, marking the beginning of the shogunate system. This period was marked by the Mongol invasions, where Japan defended itself against Kublai Khan's forces, not once, but twice. These invasions left a lasting impact, from the development of new military strategies to the strengthening of the samurai class. Moving forward, we arrive at the Muromachi period, from 1336 to 1573. This era was a turbulent time of civil war, known as the Sengoku period, where regional samurai leaders, or daimyos, battled each other for control. Yet, amidst the chaos, the samurai ethos deepened. The concept of Bushido, the way of the warrior, became more defined, emphasizing virtues such as loyalty, self-discipline, and honorable death. Cultural developments also continued during this time. Tea ceremonies, no theatre, and ikebana, the art of flower arrangement, flourished, leaving a lasting imprint on Japanese culture. In a nutshell, Japan's classical and medieval periods were a time of political upheaval, cultural blossoming, and a deepening of the samurai ethos. It was during these eras that many of the elements we associate with traditional Japan were established and refined, laying the foundation for the country we know today. Japan's history took a dramatic turn with the onset of the Edo period and later the Meiji Restoration. The Edo period, lasting from 1603 to 1868, was a time of peace and isolation. Japan, under the rule of the Tokugawa shogunate, was a closed country. The doors were firmly shut to the outside world, and the nation thrived in its own cocoon. The society was strictly hierarchical, with the samurai at the top, followed by the peasants, artisans and merchants. The period was characterized by stability, economic growth and the enjoyment of arts and culture. Notably, it was during this time that kabuki and ukiyo-e, the famous woodblock prints, flourished. As the Edo period drew to a close, a new era was on the horizon, one that would revolutionize Japan in ways never before imagined. The Meiji Restoration, beginning in 1868, marked the end of the shogunate rule and the restoration of imperial power. This was an era of change, a period of rapid westernization, industrialization, and modernization. The Meiji government looked to the West, eager to learn, adapt, and incorporate the best of what they had to offer. Western science, technology, political systems, and fashion were embraced. The samurai class was abolished and compulsory education was introduced. Railways, telegraph lines, and factories sprang up across the country, transforming the landscape. But it wasn't just the physical landscape that changed. The social fabric of Japan underwent a transformation too. The rigid class system of the Edo period was dismantled, and a new society emerged, one that was more egalitarian and modern. The Meiji period was not without its challenges. Rapid modernization came with its own set of problems, including social unrest and economic disparity. But the Japanese people, resilient and adaptable, navigated these challenges with grace and fortitude. With the dawn of the Meiji era, Japan rapidly transformed into a modern nation, ready to take its place on the world stage. The 20th century brought dramatic changes and challenges to Japan. In the early decades, Japan's imperial ambitions were in full swing. The nation, armed with modern military prowess and a desire to expand its influence, embarked on a path that would lead it to World War II. The Pacific Theatre was a brutal and bloody stage, where the land of the rising sun clashed with Allied forces. However, the tides of war turned, and the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki brought Japan to its knees. Post-war Japan was a nation in ruins, physically and emotionally. Yet, under American occupation, Japan began to rebuild. The nation's constitution was rewritten, establishing a parliamentary government and a pacifist foreign policy. Japan was to rise, but this time not with arms but with industry. And rise it did. The post-war recovery led to what many call the economic miracle of the latter half of the 20th century. Japan's economy grew at a rapid pace, transforming the war-torn nation into a world economic powerhouse. New industries emerged and the nation's focus shifted from heavy industry to electronics and automobiles. In the late 20th century, Japan's technological prowess took center stage. The world watched in awe as Japan introduced innovations in technology and electronics that reshaped daily life. From the Walkman to the bullet train, Japan's technological wonders were nothing short of a marvel. As we moved into the 21st century, Japan's role in the world continued to evolve. Today, it's not just Japan's technological prowess that grabs headlines. Its unique culture, from its anime and manga to its exquisite cuisine, has permeated across the globe. Japan has become a soft power, influencing the world not through military might, but through culture, technology, and innovation. Despite numerous challenges, Japan emerged in the 21st century as a global leader in technology, culture, and soft power. Japan's history is a fascinating journey, from an isolated island nation to a global powerhouse. A tale that sweeps across epochs, it is a narrative that is as rich and diverse as the land itself. Its early history was shaped by a dynamic interplay of indigenous tribes and foreign influences, eventually coalescing into a unified government, a foundation that was to become the bedrock of the society we see today. The rise of the samurai, those legendary warriors, marked a significant chapter in the annals of Japan. Their code of honor, Bushido, has left an indelible mark on the Japanese psyche, influencing everything from business practices to interpersonal relationships. The era of peace and isolation that followed, the Edo period, was a time of cultural blossoming. It was a time when Japan turned inward, perfecting its arts, its culture, its very identity. It was a time when Japan became, in essence, the Japan we know and admire today. And then came the Meiji period, a time of rapid modernization and westernization. From the ashes of a feudal society, a modern industrialized nation emerged, eager to take its place on the world stage. This period saw Japan transform from a closed feudal state to a dynamic, forward-looking nation. The challenges of the 20th century, including 2 world wars and the subsequent American occupation, have tested Japan's resilience. But like the mythical phoenix, Japan rose from the ashes, rebuilding itself into one of the world's largest economies. Today, Japan stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people. It is a nation that respects its past while embracing the future. A country that values tradition while championing innovation. It's a land where ancient temples coexist with skyscrapers, where the art of tea ceremony finds its place in a society that's a leader in technology. Japan's history, culture, and people continue to captivate the world, offering a unique blend of tradition and innovation that is distinctly Japanese.